Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into my channel. So I've been getting a lot of questions on, like people who want to start using makeup that never used it before, and they're like, well, where do I start? So this video is gonna be an easy drugstore makeup tutorial, and this is where you start. Buy your foundation, buy your bronzer, buy your blush, and just play at home. Worst case scenario, you just wipe it off. So I hope you enjoy this video. If you have any questions by the end of the video, feel free to put it in the comment section below, and I hope you find this helpful. Thank you guys. See you in a bit. Bye. I always like to start my makeup look with brows. For this, we're using the Wet n Wild Color Iconic Brow Pencil in the shades Brunette Do It Better. And I really like this product because it's double-sided. So the less product you use, obviously the easier learning will be. And what I do is I take the spoolie side first and I comb all my brow hairs up. Then I go in with the pencil side and I just draw out my desired shape of the brow. And I try not to do it too hard, especially in the inner corner. Next, I brush all my brow hairs down and just fill in the sparse areas, staying true to my actual brow shape. This is pretty easy for me because my brows are already thick. The one tip that I would say is make sure the first coat of your brows are kind of light, and as you go to the tail of your brow, make it darker. You really want an ombre effect so that they're not too harsh. Now I'm going to be grabbing the concealer Fair Clair by Maybelline, and I'm just going to be putting that all over my eyelid. If you've been following me for a long time, you know I'm absolutely obsessed with this concealer. It's super lightweight, but it's buildable coverage, so it's really great. And the point of putting this on your eyelid is to prep it for eyeshadow, so it could be used as a primer, but then it also cleans the bottom of your brows, so it gives it a nice clean finish. Now I'm going to be setting my concealer with a loose powder by Airspun, but you can feel free to use a pressed powder, whatever you have at home. Just make sure it's the same color of your skin. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be setting your concealer so it prevents creasing and helps with the longevity of your shadows. Grabbing a fluffy blending brush, I'm going to dip it into the Physician Formula Butter Bronzer, and I'm just going to be blending it into my crease. The secret with shadows is you want to blend until your wrist hurts. Like once you think you're done blending, blend some more, and that way you just get a seamless look with no harsh lines, and it will also look very natural. Moving on from shadow, I like to apply mascara, and for this I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Lash Paradise mascara, and I really like this because it gives tons of volume. So I layer it on about 5 to 6 times to make sure that it's completely dark, and then once I get that done, I basically just press the wand to the tip of my lashes, and I feel like that helps a lot with the length. Okay, moving on to the face, I'm going to use the Milani 2-in-1 Conceal and Perfect Foundation in the shade Double OB, and I absolutely love this foundation. All I need is one pump for my whole face, and it's super full coverage, and it really gives a natural look to the skin. What I like to do on a day-to-day basis is mix in 1 pump of the foundation with 1 pump of moisturizer, and I just put it all over my face, and this just helps me look glowy and a little more natural for the daytime. And I literally just wipe it all over my face with my finger, and then I blend it out with my beauty blender. Once I grab my beauty blender, I like to blend from my neck up, and this just always helps me and reminds me not to forget my neck because I have a terrible habit of doing that, and then I look crazy. So I start with my neck, then I blend up onto my jawline, then onto my face. When it comes to foundation, you just want to make sure you're not rubbing the product into your face, but you're patting it on, and that will ensure that you get full coverage and no streaks. Following the foundation, I like to conceal with the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade Fair Clair, and what I do is I just draw small triangles under my eyes, apply a little bit on my mustache, my chin, the bridge of my nose, and on my forehead. And basically what this does is it just highlights the high points of your face where the sun naturally hits you, and it also helps you not look so flat, helps you look more three-dimensional. You can also take this time to spot conceal, just apply it on whatever blemishes your foundation didn't cover. Now we're just going to blend that out using the same patting motion that we did for our foundation. So I'm not going to go in try to trying to disguise my blemishes at the moment because that's not what this video is about. But just a quick tip, you put the product on your blemish and then you pat it a little bit, but you want to blend around the blemish, not so much on top, because you really want to keep that coverage. Now we're going to set our concealer with the same Airspun powder that we used previously. And the way I like to do this is going back in with my beauty blender to make sure I remove any of the creasing under my eye. And then I grab the powder and apply it from the outer corner in. And my theory with this is if you do it that way, you'll fill in your creases or your wrinkles, and then it'll be like a smooth finish. I'm grabbing this fluffy Eco Tool brush and dipping it into the Physician Formula Butter Bronzer. And I'm just going to use this to darken up my skin and just give me more of a sun-kissed kind of glow. And basically, I'm just going to be applying this on my temple, a little bit on my forehead, and on my cheeks. As you notice in a bit, I actually switched over to the E.L.F angled brush because I didn't like this brush. I needed something a little more precise. And the way I like to blend in my bronzer is from the hairline out. So I want it to be darker where my hairline is, and then I blend down to my cheekbone, and it just gives you a more natural, less harsh kind of a look. I also apply the bronzer on the bridges of my nose and under my lip to give the illusion that I have fuller lips. And we could just stop right there, but why would I? I'm just kidding. So now I'm going to be grabbing a smaller, more precise brush, and I'm going to be picking up the same eyeshadow and putting it on my lower lash line. I couldn't find the proper brush, so I'm using an angled brush. Following that, I'm going to apply a little bit of mascara to complete the eyes. Now I'm going to be highlighting, and for this I'm going to use the Wet n Wild MegaGlo in the shade 319B, which I believe is Blossom Pearl. And I'm just going to be taking my beauty blender, dipping it into the product, and putting it on the high points of my face. So that's the top parts of my cheekbones, my cupid's bow, the bridge of my nose, my inner corners, and the arch of my brow. You can put a little bit on your temple as well, but I just chose to put a little bit on the top part of my brow. And you can add as much as you want. I just wanted it to be a little subtle because this is a more natural look. Grabbing the same E.L.F angled brush and the E.L.F quad, I'm going to be applying blush right over my bronzer. And I'm going to be using the shade that has no glitter. Don't worry about adding too much blush because honestly, blush is like the first thing that fades off your face. So it's really not a big deal. It won't be there in 5 minutes. So to finish off this look, we're going to move on to our lips. And for this, I'm going to start with the Milani lip liner in the shade 03 Nude. And I'm just going to line my lips, staying very true to my natural shape. I feel like lip liner is very important because it helps the longevity of your lipstick. It defines your natural shape, and it just looks a lot neat and clean when you're done. So try not to skip it. Now I'm gonna top that with E.L.F lip stain in the shade Blushing Rose. And that's it, we're all done. This is a matte lip stain, so feel free to put a lip gloss or a shimmer or whatever you like right on top. Thank you guys for staying to the end of the video. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Love you. Bye. Bye. Bye.